everybody, it's Jack and Austin back with another episode of Coffee and Commoners. Jack, what are we drinking today?
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be drinking a fall-time favorite, a pumpkin spice latte. I have finally broken down his barriers and convinced him it was time.
Did not agree to this. This was done without my consent. I'm kidding. No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just drink it.
Drink it.
Yeah,
Come on,
let's drink it.
What do you think?
I hate it.
You do?
No, it's not bad. It's just doesn't taste like much, anyways, other than like cream.
Yeah,
usually, in my opinion. As I've said on the podcast before, though, I am a fan of pumpkin treats, baked goods, pies, whole pumpkin. If you ever had like roasted pumpkin or something, it's pretty good.
I've had like pumpkin ravioli and stuff like that, but not like just cooked pumpkin.
Okay, well,
yeah,
all right.
Pumpkin seeds, not raw pumpkin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yes, it's just drinks with pumpkin stuff don't usually fall into the category of things I like.
I mean, if we got, there's another place we could have gone to get some better pumpkin spice, but we went basic bitch.
We got Starbucks. Pumpkin spice because it was easy and we had points to burn.
Yes, I have so many points.
Yeah.
And now I'm a few points shorter, but it's worth it.
It was also the end of. It's also the end of November is when this episode comes out, so we hadn't yet done the seasonal drink that most everybody seems to crave and enjoy, which is the pumpkin spice. So we decided to do that.
Yes, indeed.
There are a couple things that are new. If you guys are tuning in, you can probably hear it already. Jack and I got new mics.
Ta-da!
We're not recording on like
old,
the bare bones
stuff,
stuff that we were using before, which was literally just my iPhone. But
among other things, we had a few different tools we tried.
We tried another mic that just didn't work. But we got new mics, so I have a mic in front of me. Jack has a mic in front of him.
It's a constantly evolving process.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there,
bit by bit, step by step. One foot in front of the other.
You can't sing that yet. It's not Christmas.
Well. Listen, 'tis the season, okay? Tis the season for jollity.
All right. But yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is we got new music at the start and end. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Just to spice something up. But
it's a little something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And yeah. Not much else to announce there, so we might as well just get into what we're here to do, which is talk about monsters. Jack, what's the monster of the day?
Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a quaternary. Is that the phrase? No, we got a quattro. We got a group of four for you today.
A quartet.
Thank you. A quartet. God, I'm so stupid.
I mean, that's like a singing term. A group of four is a quartet or something like that. I don't know if that necessary, but I
can spell these. I don't know all of their definitions.
Okay. Yeah.
But today, ladies and gentlemen, we have.
Usually, it's the reverse. People know the definition but don't know how to spell it. But
see, I'm tricksy. That way.
You're ahead of the curve.
I'm ahead of the curve. I got that flipped. But today's group of four is all. It's four elemental flavors, you can say, of one monster subset, and that is the Genie. There are four on our list today. We have the Tao, we have the Genie, we have the Efreeti, and we have the Marids. So we're going to be going over all of them, hopefully in a brief fashion, just to get them all out there. And then we will have our discussion as per usual. Just again, for those of you that are curious as to where you can find these, if you are looking in your monster manual, this is going to be on page 141 through page 146. That'll give you all four Genie subtypes and just a little information about them overall.
And each of them is pretty cool in their own right. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people a popular character player option is the Ganassi, which comes from the Genie flavors. So this is one parent in the equation that makes a Ganassi usually. So,
yeah, usually.
Yeah. So and Ganassi is a pretty popular option, or at least seems to be becoming more popular.
Yeah.
Like the longer I play D&D, the more times I see Ganassi popping up as like an option.
Yeah.
That people go for. So.
And people come up with their own sort of subtypes as well.
Yeah.
That can be quite interesting. I know that we have some friends that are playing like I think it's like a lava or a magma variant that one of them is playing, and the other one is like a storm or something.
Yeah. That one's
wrong.
cool. I saw the illustration for that character, and it was like her hair was all like flowing cloud like stuff, and I was just like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, they have some amazing characters that they've made, and I love them very much.
Shout out to our friends.
Yes, you guys have amazing characters. We love them.
We love you guys. I'm gonna give you a kiss through the mic.
Oh my, getting smoochy on mic? Aye. Do I need to give you and the microphone a moment?
No.
Okay. If you're
My lips didn't touch the mic. Anyways, let's talk about the Genies.
Okay, well, we will be starting off with alphabetical order. So we are beginning things here with the Tao. It is a large elemental of the neutral evil variety. This is a challenge rating 11, for those of you that are curious.
Big 1/1.
Yes, indeedy. It has an armor class of 18, that is natural armor. For hit points, it has 187, or 15 d10 plus 105 hit die. It has a speed of 30 feet with a burrow speed of 30 feet and a fly speed of 30 feet. So 3 different types of movement there. I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah. The Tao is the Earth one, right? It's associated with elemental Earth or whatever.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. Each of the Genies are associated with like a different primordial elemental plane or something.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You are correct.
Yeah. So these boys they do be burrowing.
They do indeed.
They do be in the rocks.
Mm-hmm. The Tao here has a strength of 23, quite beefy, for a +6 modifier.
I'd expect nothing from an Earth elemental. Nothing less from an Earth.
There you go. I was a little concerned for a moment.
I flubbed the phrase, guys. All right.
That's all right.
Cool.
The Tao also has a dexterity of 12, a constitution of 24, quite impressive, through a +7 modifier.
It's all those minerals. It's good for your immune system.
It really is.
Yeah.
An intelligence of 12, a wisdom of 13, and a charisma of 14. So, with that, they do have some proficiency in saving throws. They have a +5 to intelligence and wisdom, and a +6 to charisma. They are immune to the petrified condition, and they have dark vision out for 120 feet.
You can't turn stone to stone, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
All right. What else they got?
Their passive perception is only 11, so rather easy to escape them unnoticed. The language that they speak and understand is Terran. So I guess that is a subset of Primordial, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think how the language system works is that like Primordial is supposed to be like the language of all elementals, but each plane has its like own like dialect, basically. Mm-hmm. So Terran is obviously for the Tao and the Earth elemental plane. I think it's Aquan is for the plane of water, and I think Igni is the name of the one for fire. I could be wrong.
Ignan.
Okay, and then I don't remember what the one for the air is.
Oron,
and then Aquan. Aquan, I knew that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Because it also appears on, I think, the Merfolk stat block, but in the Triton.
Well, there's one that I haven't looked at in a while, but I think you're correct. Off the top of my head.
But yeah, they each have their own dialects.
Yeah.
Also, I had a quick joke. I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump back because this is how unprofessional I am. I had a quick joke about their passive perceptions. They can't see you because they have dirt in their eye.
Oh my god.
The Tao have dirt in their eye, so they can't see you.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, I'm just gonna move on past that.
Yep.
For the Tao, they do have the Earth Glide feature, so they can burrow through non-magical, unworked earth and stone, and while doing so, they don't disturb the material as they're moving through it, so that allows them to move through stealthily. Quite cool. They also have another one here called Elemental Demise. If the Tao dies, its body disintegrates into crystalline powder. Nice. Leaving behind only equipment the Tao was wearing or carrying. So does that mean that you could then snort the Tao?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Nice crystalline powder. Just
I was like,
yes.
Is that like a thing that rich people in D&D like? Is that like a rich people drug that they like the aristocracy of like feels like something they do in 10 towns is get those backwards ass motherfuckers.
I'm very tempted to put this into my next campaign now. I love this idea, low key.
Yo, let's go get high on some Dow dust.
Dow dust. There you go. That's a little twisted in some way.
Yeah, no, that's actually crazy.
Or I mean, you could also work it in for like, religious purposes, perchance.
Like some weird earth elemental cultists or something
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
We inhale the dust of our lords.
Something like
to make us more like them.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some interesting things that you could do with that. Dows also have innate spell casting. Using charisma, they have a spell DC of 14 with a +6 to hit on their spell attacks.
They're not the best spellcasters, but they are casters.
Yes, indeed. They can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components. They can cast at will Detect Evil and Good, Detect Magic, and Stone Shape. Very thematic, given their elemental affinity. Mm-hmm. 3 times a day, they can cast Pass Wall, Move Earth, and Tongues. And then once a day each, they can cast Conjure Elemental to conjure up an Earth Elemental only. Gaseous Form, Invisibility, Phantasmal Killer, Plane Shift, and Wall of Stone.
Gaseous Form feels weird, but I guess it's like not entirely... Like if they turned into sand on the wind or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say the art here doesn't actually depict them with legs. It has like a little sand tornado, like you were saying.
Like a little cyclone thing going on underneath their tunic or whatever
they're
wearing in that image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dao are also sure-footed, so they have advantage on strength and dexterity saving throws made against effects that would knock them prone.
But wait, he has no feet in the
well,
in the image.
They're not always.
Sure. Yeah, no, you got a point.
Okay.
You got a point there.
In terms of actions, they do have multi-attacks. They can make either 2 fist attacks or 2 maul attacks. Or if you're cool, you can do whatever. It's your choice.
Yeah. Maul, then fist.
There you go.
Do it that way. Spice it up.
Yeah. For the fist attack, it has a +10 to hit with a reach of 5 feet against one target. It deals 2d8 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of its maul, it has a +10 to hit with a reach of 5 feet against one target. 4d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage on a hit. If the target is a huge or smaller creature, it must succeed on a DC 18 strength check or be knocked prone. So,
yeah,
got some fun little mechanics there. Anything you want to say about the Dao? Do you like it as it's written?
Yeah. It's something that I just want to point out about like earth elementals in general, like compared to the other like elemental types, because it's like usually they usually add an elemental type to whatever the elemental damage is of like their attacks. So it's like obviously the fire elementals and a 3D you'll have like fire damage for most of their attacks.
Yeah.
For like water elementals, it's sometimes cold or acid.
Cold, I think.
And like I think for air elementals, it varies depending on like the type of elemental it is. It's usually like thunder or lightning sometimes occasionally, but like earth elementals in the Dao, they just get bludgeoning. That's it. This is the most basic damage type. There's no like other. It's like, because what else is a rock gonna do? It's just gonna...
Yeah.
That's just something I've noticed is, like, all these other guys have a little something extra, and then, like, Earth kind of gets, like... I smash with rock. That's all I know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be kind of fun if they had the option to, like, switch between doing bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, depending on, what they're doing. And if they're doing, like, range attack, they're just throwing a bunch of, like, arrowhead-shaped rocks at you.
Yeah, some, like, piercing damage as you throw literal, like, gravel at the party.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Spice it up a little. Make it your own. You don't have to go with what the stat block says. It's a suggest. They're more guidelines than actual rules.
Barbosa! He returns. All right. I don't know. The Dao seem cool.
They are neutral evil, so they're not, like, immensely terrible.
No. They can be bargained with.
Yeah, just don't piss them off.
Yeah, don't
fuck with them.
Don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
I don't think I would make any changes to that. I think it's hard to change Genies because it's just like, well, okay. Actually, here's the thing. Well, in its spell list, it doesn't have wish, does it? Or does it? I don't know.
No, it does not.
You're not gonna give wish to a genie. You're not going to. Come on.
I mean, if you want to, like, throw that in for a variant, there is a little blurb here. That says some genies have, a variety of magical capabilities. You can have them, you can grant them the wish feature, allow them to grant wishes. So it has some information here. Under wishes, the genie power to grant wishes is legendary among mortals. Only the most potent genies, such as those of the nobility, can do so. A particular genie that has this power can grant 1 to 3 wishes to a creature that isn't a genie. Once a genie has granted its limit of wishes, it can't do so again until some amount of time has passed, usually 1 year, and cosmic law dictates that the same genie can expend its limit of wishes on a specific creature only once in that creature's existence.
A lot of rules there.
There's more.
Okay.
To be granted a wish, a creature within 60 feet of the genie states a desired effect for the wish to happen. The genie can then cast the wish spell on the creature's behalf to bring about the effect. Depending on the genie's nature, the genie may try to pervert the intent of the wish by exploiting the wish's poor wording. The perversion of the wording is usually crafted to be the genie's benefit. So,
wow.
There you go. That's
pretty slick, those genies.
Yeah, that's where you get the alignment sort of coming into play, and I know we've shared our thoughts on alignment before. Again, good guidelines. Doesn't have to be, the cosmic law that you follow above all else, but something to keep in mind.
I just chugged the last of the pumpkin spice in my cup, and I know I said I hate it, but I did it mainly just to not have it in front of me anymore. Mm-hmm. I think that pumpkin spice is neutral evil. I think that is the alignment of pumpkin spice.
Neutral evil.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Is it the alignment of all Karens? Is that your?
I don't know. Okay. Sure. That's my new opinion.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Okay.
Well, shall we move on to Ginny? Or is there anything else you wish to say more about the Dao?
No, I don't think so. I think that there's not much you can go wrong with in terms of a creature that just attacks you with a big hammer.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the Genie then. They are as well a large elemental, this time of the chaotic good variety.
I've heard there's a variant pronunciation. I don't know. It's weird because that spelling is like Genie or Genie. And I know there's sometimes it's just pronounced Jin or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the weird silent D at the beginning, but there's probably some, middle, Arabic reason for that, the way it's pronounced, I'm assuming. So, because I think that's where the Genie originates from in terms of, actual real-world mythology is, Arabic storytelling or something. But anyways, I digress.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So again, the Genie, however you want to pronounce it, large elemental of the chaotic good variety. It has an armor class of 17, again that is natural armor. It has 161 hit points and 14 d10 plus 84 hit die. It has a speed of 30 feet and then a fly speed of 90 feet. So no burrow, but it can fly.
It's fast.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. It is fast. The Genie here has a strength of 21, a dexterity of 15, a constitution of 22, intelligence of 15, wisdom of 16, and a charisma of 20. So pretty decent stats all around. Nothing crazy like the Dow there, but it's got a much more balanced stat block, I think.
Yep.
In terms of its saving throws, it gets a +6 to dexterity, a +7 to wisdom, and a +9 to charisma. It has some damage immunities, immune to both lightning and thunder damage. Has 120 feet of dark vision and a passive perception of 13. Not too difficult to sneak around. Again, language, as we were talking earlier, this one has Oron, which I believe is the error flavor of Primordial. And then this is a challenge rating 11 as well, as was the Dow. For the Genie here, under the Elemental Demise feature, if it dies, its body disintegrates into a warm breeze, leaving behind only equipment the Genie was wearing or carrying. So, no crystalline powder to snort this time. Just a warm breeze that, you get a little... It's like a little fart in the face. You slay the Genie, you just get a little...
You know what? To continuing with the rich people make drugs out of gin.
God.
Is you trap a gin in a container of some kind, then you kill it, and then its gas is just in the container, and then you got a hookah on it. Just
it's like the canned air from Spaceballs.
Yeah,
crack it open a cold one with the boys. Oh, goodness.
Crack open a cold gin with the boys.
Yeah.
Not gin the alcohol, gin the creature.
There you go.
But yeah. That's fucked up.
I know. We have taken this episode down a distinctly
a very dark hole. Very
Yeah.
dark hole, and we're just gonna keep digging deeper, aren't we, Jack?
It's the only way to keep moving forward, my guy.
Okay. What
Genie
else?
here has, and again, innate spellcasting with charisma. Spell DCs of 17 on a +9 to hit with its spell attacks. It can innately cast the following spells with no material components required. At will, it can cast Detect Evil and Good, Detect Magic, and Thunderwave. 3 times a day each, it can cast Create Food and Water. It can create wine in place of water with this spell, which is a...
Damn. Okay,
nice.
never mind. The gin is the homie now. Because he can get you alcohol.
Yeah, it is the homie. It's chaotic good, my guy.
We're no longer huffing gin smoke. We're just gonna hang out with the gin and drink wine that he makes.
A wise decision.
Yeah.
Again, 3 times a day each. It can also cast Tongues and Windwalk.
Naturally.
And then 1 time a day each, it can conjure Elemental, conjuring up an air elemental only. It can cast Creation, Gaseous Form, Invisibility, Major Image, and Plane Shift. So it's got quite a variety of spells there.
That's a lot of good spells. Plane Shift would make for a very good escape. Quick escape.
The Genie here also has its own set of actions. Again, multi-attack. It can make 3 scimitar attacks. Excuse me.
It's a little quicker than its Dow cousin.
Yes, it doesn't have all that bulk.
Yeah.
It
doesn't have all that weight to throw around, so it's just like...
So the scimitar attack here is a +9 to hit against 1 creature within 5 feet. It deals 2d6 +5 slashing damage, and an additional 1d6 lightning or thunder damage, which is the Genie's choice. It can also, as an action, create Whirlwind. So it has a 5-foot radius, 30-foot tall cylinder of swirling air that magically forms on a point. The Genie can see within 120 feet of it. The whirlwind lasts as long as the Genie maintains concentration, as if concentrating on a spell. Any creature but the genie that enters the whirlwind must succeed on a DC 18 strength saving throw or be restrained by it. The genie can move the whirlwind up to 60 feet as an action, and and creatures restrained by the whirlwind move with it. The whirlwind ends if the genie loses sight of it.
Don't piss off a genie. It'll just summon a tornado on you.
Yeah.
It'll summon a cyclone.
Oh yeah. It does say here though that a creature can use its action to free a creature restrained by the whirlwind, including itself, if you succeed on that DC 18 strength check. And then if you succeed, you're no longer restrained, you move to the nearest space outside the whirlwind. Still means you can get sucked up by it again, but at least you have a chance to get out, in case you do. So yeah, it's quite fun. I do love the art here of the smoke and the smoky effect of it.
That feels like
emerging from the lamp.
the traditional, not necessarily traditional, but maybe like the Disney version of the genie.
Yeah.
You know, blue, smoky, windy, kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
Robin Williams, rest in peace.
Yeah, we love Robin Williams in this house.
We do.
We love that man.
Yeah. So do you
This episode is not dedicated to Robin Williams.
Sure.
Although we've also been talking about killing genies for drug purposes. So
let's edit that part out.
All right.
So that is the basic stat block of the genie here. Do you like it? Would you use this?
Sure, I'd probably use it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like genies are like one of those creature types where it's like hard to fit into a campaign unless you like do it super intentionally.
Yeah.
Like it'll play a good big role. I mean, it doesn't have to play a big role. It doesn't have nothing has to play a big role in your campaign at all. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
You fit it in where you can. Like, I don't know, like in my current campaign setting, I don't think I would use it. Like I feel like genies in general I would use in campaigns if like the central idea was like treasure hunting or uncovering lost ancient secrets or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, something like that. Not rather than like the weird, dark, and disturbing stuff that I'm currently doing. But
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. I'd use it though.
Yeah, similar things to what you're saying. I think that you have to intentionally find a spot to put them in.
Yeah.
But I do love the flavor of them all. So.
Yes.
That's the fun thing about doing this podcast is I get to look, very closely at certain creatures, certain monsters, and I'm like, oh, this would be fun. Maybe I can work this in somehow.
Yeah, the reality is that this podcast is a learning experience, not only for you, the audience, but for Jack and I, because we don't know the handbook and the manuals and all that front to back. That's it. The jig's up. We just don't.
They're not committed to memory. I know.
Yeah.
I know. A little bit about things.
There's some monsters that we're gonna talk about that we've never even seen before.
Yeah.
We don't even know what they are, but for some reason they exist.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a peek at this and be like, the hell is that?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah. We're halfway through the genies though, so what other genies do we got now?
The next one up on the list is the Efreeti.
Fire.
Yes, this is a large elemental of the lawful evil variety, another challenge 11 creature.
The art looks more like a fiend.
In
my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that's like, I think
it's because of fire.
I think, yeah, there's that, but there's also, I think, like, there's actual real world mythology around, like, genies being more like devils or demons or something like that than they are just like these aberrant elemental beings. But I have to fact check myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not too well versed on that, so I don't know for certain, but it definitely sounds like there could be some credibility to that statement.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert at anything, but I know a lot of mythology, so
there you go.
I'm gonna insert my
disclaimer: we are not experts in what we speak, but
We've had a lot of those recently, or we've had to disclaim that we're not medical experts and we're not mythology experts.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, fire genies.
Getting back to our friend the Afridi here. It has an AC of 17, so that's its natural armor there. It has 200 hit points, and it has 16 d10 plus 112 hit die. Base speed is a little bit higher at 40 feet, with a fly speed of 60. So it's a little bit base speed faster than our previous two. And its fly speed is better than the Dow, but not quite as good as the Genie.
Yep.
The Afridi
he's got those rocket powered legs. He's got jet fuel legs.
Tenya? The Afridi here has a strength of 22, a dexterity of 12, constitution of 24. Pretty high up there with a +7 modifier.
Yeah.
It has an intelligence of 16, wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 16.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's got some charm and some intelligence.
Decent stats. I quite like that.
Yep.
It gets a +7 to its intelligence saving throws, a +6 to its wisdom saving throws, and another +7 for its charisma saving throws. And it is immune to fire.
That doesn't make any sense. It's a joke.
Okay. I had to look back like, what? You just said this is the fire genie.
The fire genie gets fire immunity? That's ridiculous.
Oh my god, what is this? It does have dark vision for 120 feet and a passive perception of 12. So these guys are not the most aware of their surroundings, it looks like. For its languages, again, it speaks and understands Ignan. Mm-hmm. Fire variant of Primordial.
It just sounds like crackling flames is all it sounds like.
I do love that idea.
Opens its mouth and it's just like charcoal sound, like crackling. Sorry for you audience members that have to hear that.
Just don't deep throat the mic, my guy.
I didn't even put my mouth that close.
It was close. He got me going, oh my, what's he about to do?
All right. Keep going.
Yes. The Afridi does have the elemental demise feature as well. So if it dies, its body disintegrates in a flash of fire and a puff of smoke, leaving behind only equipment the Afridi was wearing or carrying. It also has innate spellcasting, with charisma being its spellcasting modifier, has a spell save DC of 15, and a +7 to hit with its spell attacks. It can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components. At will, detect magic, which is it.
So that's the only one it can do at will.
At will. The rest of these, there's some other ones, but so far, very reduced spell list compared to our previous two.
Wow.
3 times a day each, it can cast Enlarge Reduce and Tongues. And then once a day each, it can cast Conjure Elemental of the Fire Elemental variety only, Gaseous Form, Invisibility, Major Image, Plane Shift, and Wall of Fire. But that's it.
No Fireball?
No Fireball. Dang. Not a whole lot of spells for our
Not even like fire cantrips? Like can't cast Firebolt or anything?
No, only thing you get to the fire variety is Fire Elemental Conjuring and Wall of Fire. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm surprised. It does have, however, it's here you go. It's in its attacks. So it's got multi-attack, so it can make 2 scimitar attacks, or use its hurl flame twice, or interchange them as you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
Its scimitar is a +10 to hit with a reach of 5 feet against one target. It deals 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage, and an additional 2d6 fire damage.
Right.
And then it has hurl flame, which counts as a ranged spell attack, +7 to hit on a range of 120 feet against one target, and that deals 5d6 fire damage.
Wow.
So there you go. You can do that twice in a turn if it wants to. So there's where you get your fire damage.
That's actually pretty decent.
I was thinking
they probably reduced this thing's spell capacity because they're relying more on the idea of like you using it and its sword mainly because first of all, the combination of enlarge reduce plus that like literal like I think it's combined 4d6 damage with its sword.
Yeah.
Then you add more dice to it thanks to enlarge reduce.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good wombo combo, especially on 2 attacks.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then they gave it a good middle ground because it's like it's stronger than Firebolt, not as strong as Fireball. Yeah. But
because it does only hit that one target.
Yeah.
But that is pretty nice. I do like that. Do you enjoy the stat block as a whole?
Yes, I would change nothing about this now. Because I was about to say, like, I want to give it more fire spells. And maybe you could. Maybe you could give it more fire spells if you want to, like, torture your players.
I feel like, if anything, I would want to give it Fireball in there somewhere.
As, like, a massive, like... It's like no more playing around.
Yeah, and maybe not. I don't know if I'd give it the 3 times a day each. Maybe just once per day, like Wall of Fire. But I feel like Fireball would just be so nice.
Once per day, Immolation. That's the big boy fire spell that I like. Immolation is fun.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
I'm gonna immolate you guys in my campaign.
Goodbye to my shadow boy. He's going up in smoke.
The next creature that's associated with fire is gonna cast immolate on all of you.
Oh god.
I'm kidding.
Anyways, I like the Afridi. I don't think I'd want to do anything. I do like this flavor, and I'm trying to think of where I could put it in my world.
What's its alignment, technically?
Its Oh, yes. Its alignment is lawful evil.
Okay.
We haven't gotten a chaotic evil at all, so it is lawful evil.
I think, because the Genies kind of operate with a set of rules, I don't think they're going to be anywhere on the chaotic spectrum. Or was the...
The Genie is.
What was the Genie again?
Chaotic good.
Chaotic, okay.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense.
I think since they operate within, like, a code, at least, they're not going to be the combination of chaotic evil.
Yeah.
They might be on the neutral, lawful, or at least good scale somewhere in there, but I don't think, like, because of, like, how they seem to all work with, like, a set of codes and all that.
Well, don't hold too firm to that, because the Merid, our fourth one here, is chaotic neutral.
Huh.
Oddly enough. Again, another large elemental of the challenge rating 11 variety. So, is this a Steven Universe character? Because it's got a gem in its belly button. Do I need to make some calls?
No, I don't think that's it.
Okay.
I think that's just, like, an ornament.
All right.
It is weird that it's a fish, though.
I know, it's a fish. You know what this looks like? This is one little dangly piece away from being like an anglerfish or something. That's what it reminds me of.
That'd be terrifying.
It's like a cross between an anglerfish and a blobfish.
Imagine an anglerfish with, like, prehensile hands and thumbs coming at you with, like, welcome to my abode.
See, I'm just imagining an anglerfish with just the comically massive hands. just totally reach forward.
Not even like giant ripped arms, just like scrawny skeleton.
No, I'm just imagining just big hands.
Big hands.
It's like the memes of like Kirby going and reaching for you. Yeah.
All right. We've had our laugh about the Merid. Let's learn about the Merid.
Yes, the Merid here. It has an armor class of 17, 229 hit points for 17 d10 plus 136 hit die. It has a speed of 30 feet, a fly speed of 60 feet, and a swimming speed of 90. Quite nice.
The Genie are going to be good at flying, so the Merid have to be good at swimming.
Yes, they do. The Merid here has a strength of 22, dexterity of 12, constitution of 26 for a +8.
I think that's the hardiest one we've got so far.
I think you're right. It has an intelligence of 18, a wisdom of 17, and a charisma of 18. So quite a well-rounded stat block there for its ability scores. It gets a +5 to its dexterity saving throw, a +7 to its wisdom saving throw, and a +8 to its charisma saving throw. It has damage resistances against acid, cold, and lightning damage. Not immunity to any of them, just resistance. It does get blind sight for 30 feet, dark vision for 120, and passive perception for 13.
I almost feel like it. Sorry, it's because I'm hung up on the immunities resistance thing.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it should at least get acid immunity. I don't know, because it's like you throw. Cause I don't know. 'Cause I'm no scientist, but like usually isn't that what you do with heavily acidic substances? Is
You neutralize a base.
You neutralize it with water or like with a base?
With a base.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Something caustic.
All right. Well, never mind. That shows how much I know. I know nothing about science.
That's all right.
Disclaimer: I'm not a scientist.
That's all right. You're
Disclaimer: I'm not many things.
Same. I think
Yeah.
that's true for many people.
Yeah. I am what I am, but I am not what I am not. That's words of wisdom from Austin.
All right, there, Descartes.
Okay,
Or
thanks.
whoever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Merid.
Merid.
Continuing.
Languages. It speaks Aquan, again, the water variety of primordial. After that, we start to get into its traits. It is amphibious, so it can breathe air and water.
Is it meant to look like a newt then, or a frog thing?
Does that look like a frog to you?
I don't know. It's got big lips.
Again, imagine like some. Again, the creatures that I think it looks like is like a cross between an anglerfish and a blobfish. Is kind of what vibes that gives me.
This is the weirdest one we've.
Yeah, this one is yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Upon its demise, under elemental demise,
Yes, I want to know what happens when it dies.
it disintegrates into a burst of water and foam, leaving behind only equipment the Merid was wearing or carrying.
You see, this one's not a drug, but you put Merid foam on top of your latte.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all just foam and a latte, man. It's all just foam and a latte. Well, for its innate spellcasting, it has charisma for its ability. For its innate spellcasting, the Merid has charisma as its spellcasting ability for a spell save DC of 16 and a +8 to hit on its spell attacks. It can innately cast the following spells with no material components. At will, it can cast Create or Destroy Water, Detect Evil and Good, Detect Magic, Thought Cloud, and Purify Food and Drink. And then 3 times a day each, it can cast Tongues, Water Breathing, and Water Walk. And then once a day each, it can cast Conjure Elemental to summon a water elemental only, Control Water, Gaseous Form, Invisibility, and Plane Shift. So a nice variety of watery themed spells.
I'm a little confused why it would need to cast water breathing if it's amphibious.
Oh, I imagine, if you're parlaying with a Merid in the deep down.
I guess it's something it could cast on other creatures.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. All right.
For its actions, it gets multi-attack. So it can make 2 attacks in a turn. It says to do 2 trident attacks specifically. For the trident attack, it is a melee or a ranged weapon attack. Get that versatility in there. A +10 to hit with a reach of 5 feet if you're on melee, or if you're throwing it, a range of 20-60 against one target. So that's within 20 feet you roll normally. Within 60 feet you roll with disadvantage.
Yep.
And then anything beyond, it just misses.
Yeah.
On a hit, the trident deals 2d6 plus 6 piercing, or 2d8 plus 6 piercing if you're using it with 2 hands. So, a little versatility there.
Yep. That seems cool.
It also has the water jet action here. So the Merid magically shoots water in a 60-foot line that is 5 feet wide. Each creature in that line must make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw. On a failure, target takes 66 bludgeoning damage, and if it is huge or smaller, it is pushed up to 20 feet away and knocked prone.
They should have called this the Super Soaker attack.
Oh my god. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds funny.
Yeah. And then, if you succeed, a target takes half the bludgeoning damage and is neither pushed nor knocked prone.
All right.
So,
I think this is cool. Yeah. You know what would probably be a good flavor of this particular genie is like, have you seen Moana?
admittedly, I have not.
Okay. Well, basically, there's this big old crab,
Okay.
in Moana that has like a bunch of treasure in its lair, and that's like one of the places they go to get
I've seen some clips
to
of
get
the,
like
crab.
the magic hook that Dwayne the Rock Johnson's character uses, Maui.
Okay.
So that's where his like magic hook is. But anyways, I don't know. I think it would be a cool flavor of Merid to like have like, you know, that treasure hoarder at the bottom of the sea sort of thing, collecting sunken treasures and all that.
Yeah.
You know what is the thing that I think I would change on all of these genies is to give them like some sort of advantages if you're on like their favored terrain or like home plane or something like that. So like if you're under the water fighting a Merid, you they have like a home advantage sort of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe their attacks are more effective or something. Same thing with like, I mean, the Dow is a little tricky because everywhere is land basically.
Fair.
Same thing with the Jin, because it's like air is everywhere.
Yeah.
But like you could obviously do that pretty easy with like, you know, the Merid or the Afridi, where it's like you're under the water, the Merid's attacks are better. You're in a arid, dry, hot environment, then the Afridi has the home advantage. Or if you're in the middle of a volcano, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's a number of things you could do to spice them up. I mean, just looking again at the art here, you want to know what vibe this also gives me?
What else?
Like a seaside gambler sort of a thing. I don't know what it is. It's giving me like seaside gambler, Jabba the Hutt.
I think it's the fact that they just made it thick.
Maybe.
That it's just like...
I think it's also the vest.
Sure.
The vest that's on.
Like it's got like a casino owner vibe or something. Like
honestly, yeah.
Seaside casino.
Yeah.
Run by a genie. Use that. That's a good NPC.
I was like, because it's chaotic neutral. I'm just like, if it's chaotic and it kind of is focused on nobody but itself, I'm like, totally gives me the gambler vibes.
No, a casino is like the perfect business cover for a genie.
Yeah. I'm using this for my next campaign. I'm totally doing it. I've already got an underwater nation. I'm gonna throw this as like some dude living there.
I think all the genies are cool.
Yeah. I like them.
We still got a bit of time. Should we do a random topic? I know we weren't gonna do that.
I think we have a bit of time. Why don't we roll?
Yeah, let's roll. Roll.
Would you care to go ahead and roll the dice, sir? Let me pull up our...
That's my job, is roll the dice.
Yes, your job is rolling the dice. I'll pull up our
that's
D100...
That's the only thing I do is I roll the dice.
Yeah.
Hear the click-clacks. I don't know if they come through on the mic that well, but...
We'll find out in post.
All right. Anyways, here we go. That's 48.
48. You need to roll again.
Okay, we already did that one. All right.
Yep.
You see, once the list slims down, we'll have a better chance of because we'll go down. We'll scale down to a D20 once we hit,
We'll make adjustments as needed.
35.
All right. Oh, this is an interesting one, especially for the topic of genies and who can cast wishes and things.
Yeah.
The topic of today is metagaming.
Metagaming the system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What about metagaming? I think as DMs, we really dislike it when players try to insert previous knowledge of things into their actions. I mean, it's very easy for players to, look at any of the books. Because honestly, the D&D books are just big picture books. That's it.
Yeah.
It's got fantastic artwork of all the monsters and all that. So it's very easy to go through it and look at it. But there's certain characteristics of each one that are either obvious or pretty iconic to players would know what to expect from it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So metagaming in that sense is hard to avoid because I don't know, you throw a red dragon out there, everybody's going to be like, oh, it breathes fire. Oh, it probably fire damage probably won't do much to it. So that's hard to avoid in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that are just going to be pretty common knowledge that you don't really have to worry about it being specifically like a metagaming thing. But if you've got things like, I'm trying to think of like something that happened. I don't know. All of you guys have been pretty good. I don't think there's been like a...
I think we try to avoid metagaming as much as possible. I can't think of any particular instance where we got... You know what? I can
think of one.
I hate to beat a dead horse because I know we talked about this previously, but it's when I made that flub and said Great Worm.
This is what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's like
instead of Draco Lich in that one fight, and you were like, "I'm sorry, what?" and you guys immediately switched tag. I feel like maybe that was probably an instance of metagaming, but I can't like blame you guys because like technically the attack hit its first attacks hit pretty hard, and you guys were like,
I went down to 25% health points. It was not okay.
So yeah. So that one's more on me than it is on you guys.
That's really the only one I can think of.
That's a little bit metagaming, but it's not like too bad.
Yeah.
Because you did have previous context to change your battle plan in that moment.
Yes.
I think like the type of metagaming that I want to avoid doing or seeing is like having previous knowledge of an encounter or a particular creature type, and then trying to just direct the game in the direction that is going to give you an advantage over the encounter. Like, this could be a creature that your player character has never encountered before, and has no context for it, but because you as the player know the things, its resistances, its strengths, its weaknesses, etc., for you to then insert that is not exactly fair to the encounter, and it's not fair to the group. And I don't think this has ever happened at our table, but I have heard like stories of like groups being influenced by one particular player to be like, no, only use this damage type. No, only do this, only do that. And it's like that's the kind of thing where it's like, slow down. Let people play the way they want to play.
Yeah.
And just don't try to influence the game based off of your previous knowledge of something.
Here's one for you. Can you metagame as a DM against the players?
Yes, you can. Doesn't mean that it's right and that you should.
Yeah. Like the one that I was thinking of was kind of as you were talking about, like combat encounter specifically. Like if you know that the players have like a specific plan, it's like if you have not created if you have not made the list of things to like, you know, get out of an encounter, you know, if there's like a puzzle or something, and like you have not yet come up with the boundaries for that yet. And then if you're changing them to specifically go against what the party is planning to do, that's just...
Yeah.
No.
I think I should clarify, like, you can kind of metagame as a DM to, like, make things difficult for the party, but the thing is that it should be, you as a DM are creating a challenge for the players, not an impossibility. Like, not not an impassable roadblock. Don't, you know, because, like, there's probably plenty of instances where, like, because, like, D&D is very unpredictable. Things can go one way or the other way.
Yeah.
So then, as a DM, you have to plan accordingly with that. You try to, at least. But, you know, there's only so much you can do, and then when the group says, we want to go this way instead of that way, you then have to adjust whatever you were planning to that particular route that they take, those particular choices. And you can still make it a challenge. Like, the party says, we want to go through the swamp instead of traveling on the main road. And then you're like, okay, well, the swamp has monsters in it. Because that's the challenge of it. Or something instead. That's you creating a challenge for the party. That's not necessarily metagaming per se, but it's you adjusting to whatever the party decides. It's different if, like, you as a DM know like the main damage types that all of your players do, the pitfalls of their AC and their health and all that, and their saving throws, and then specifically creating an encounter that is going to just fuck them up and totally take advantage of all of your party's weaknesses. I think that is a little malicious to do as a DM, to like,
at that point it's not the players playing the game, it's the players or the DM, going against, you know what I'm trying to say here?
You get going against the party, trying to like completely trying to party kill them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Metagaming is a tricky thing now because, so many people are now into D&D and a lot of the knowledge is widespread. I mean, granted, there are people in our group of friends and in the groups that we play with that it's like, you say something like a dragon and they're like, what's that? I mean, they're not that dense. Well, but, it's like, something that we as DMs and other...
we have been graced with good players.
But it's like something that's like you think is iconic, or it's something that is like iconic to D&D, appears like regularly. Some people kind of just don't have like the memory retention for the ability to metagame. So there is always that hope that it's just like, gee, I really hope my players don't remember what this is.
Like with the whole Great Worm situation, I was like, I know it has like this thing, but I don't remember anything else, and I just ran this last week.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That was frightening.
So there is that.
Yeah.
It's just like, maybe my players will be stupid enough not to know anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, players aren't stupid. Nobody's stupid.
Yeah.
Except me. I'm kind of stupid.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
I can't. The thing with me is, this is a little bit away from metagaming, but like I have the hardest time remembering what voice I used for characters. That is my downfall.
Yeah.
I have notes for certain of them, but oftentimes I forget to write it down, and then it comes back to bite me in the ass later.
So there's plenty of times where like somebody that was supposed to be English ended up like Scottish or Irish or something like that.
Yeah, the Scottish person.
I don't remember them having this accent.
I switched two people. One of them had a Scottish accent. One of them had an Australian, and I swapped them at some point during the campaign, and I don't remember why or when. Yeah, but
I think the general advice I just have for like avoiding metagaming is like, try to be conscious of like what your character would know and the context of how your character has lived previously to this encounter. It's like, do they have knowledge of this creature or do they not?
Yeah.
And sometimes you might need to talk to the DM on that one. You as a player, anyways. And again,
that's what roles are for.
Yeah.
A history roll, an animal handling, or a nature or whatever.
I don't think people realize that that's kind of like a majority of like what the intelligence ability checks are for. It's like, it's not just like your knowledge about a particular subject or whatever. It's like also like, it's when people ask the question like, would I know this? And it's just like, maybe roll a nature check to see if you know what this particular kind of tree is. Roll an arcana check if you want to know what kind of magical creature this is. Roll a religion check if you want to know more about the nature of the divine and the demonic or something, to see if you have that context there. And there might be situations where like your character probably doesn't and they ask for the roll anyways.
Yeah.
And then most times, probably not going to get much out of that. But that's more of like a player by player basis rather than like, actual skill measurement in that case.
And I do have one story that I do want to bring up just because I think it has some advice that can kind of be tacked onto it. Like, I know I had this one friend was in this campaign and played, and the campaign was just not really... It was not enjoyable for them. Yeah. And they were in it to kind of like stick it out for their friend that had invited them to come and play. And didn't want to, upset the balance or anything. And was like, it was just so bone dry for them that to do anything to spice it up, that they felt like they needed to, have a chance, because the DM was just throwing things at them, was, if they knew that they were going up against what's a good option? I don't remember what monster they were fighting. If you're going up against a giant, it's like, it has a, I don't know what a giant has, like an 18 AC or whatever, or 22 or something like that.
Pretty chunky AC, a lot of health, and good strength.
So they would like, oh, I need to roll at least this well, and do this, and it was like they kind of like flubbed the numbers a little bit to kind of like metagame that way, not like knowledge. A different type of knowledge use.
Fudging your rolls is technically metagaming, but
kind of.
There are plenty of times when I, as a DM, have fudged my rolls, mainly because I'm embarrassed of how low I rolled.
See, I don't want
a monster that I
don't want to kill people. Well, not all the time. Sometimes yes, but the point of the story I wanted to get to was, they felt like in order for them to be able to either enjoy the game or to actually, make progress in it, that they felt they needed to do this. And I guess my advice is, if you feel the need to metagame, there's a conversation that I guess that needs to be had between players.
I think like the thing
and then players and the DM,
that might also just be a case of like because the thing to me is always in combat encounters, it was always like better to like figure it out in the midst of the encounter, the numbers I need to hit and what its like weak points were, because that's to me a little bit better, because then it's like once you do hit it, with you have at least a target number that will hit. So it's like you hit a creature with your melee attack. Let's say you get a 17 and that hits. So you at least know that a 17 and above will hit. You're not sure about anything lower yet. If you get like a 14 or a 15 next turn that rolls around, or somebody else gets a 14 or a 15, or like and those don't hit, then you at least know that like its AC is at least 17. So it's like the process of elimination and like learning in the moment what a creature's weaknesses are and like the target numbers you need to hit.
Yeah. I mean, what I was saying was like, I forget what class he was. I think he was like a ranger or something. So he was, plunking off arrows left and right. But the whole thing was like, before like combat would even start, it's like, oh, it's a hill giant. I know it has this much, and I need to use this damage. And he would just like set that aside and just keep that so like he knew in order to, for whatever benefit he was trying to go for. And it was like,
I would say the only risk this person has in terms of like playing with others though is potentially making it not fun for the DM with number crunching. Because that's the other thing too, is like you as a DM have the ability to change something on a whim. If you want a character to be tougher or weaker or something like that, you can change its AC and HP however you like. So that's the fluidity of D&D. So that's like the one risk I can see this person running, is like being number crunchy and running into that conflict with the DM in case they like change something.
Yeah. Again, my whole thing that I wanted to get a point was like, if you as a player feel like it's more of it's less of a, if you accidentally incorporate something just off the cuff that you didn't even think about. If this is something that is intentionally going on, I think there's a conversation that needs to be held between, the players and the DM, just to kind of like, why is this happening? Why is this a thing? Because like you said, it can get messy. Yes, it can get messy. And nobody wants that. We want fun. Yeah. We want fun. And, a little accidental, here or there, that's, inevitable. But if it's something that somebody feels they need to do, or they're doing constantly, that's when a conversation needs to be had. And that's why communication is so important in a game like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're literally talking and acting in front of each other. You just talk and act behind the scenes, too.
Yes. Yes.
A director needs to talk to their actors, and the actors need to give notes to the director sometimes. You know, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
So don't feel like you can't reach out and have those discussions that need to be had. Sometimes you gotta get in the nitty gritty, you know. But that's all the point I wanted to make.
I think the main conclusion here is metagaming intentionally is probably not the best idea, and it's also a little hard to avoid now because of how popular D&D is. But you just do your best to like try and act in the moment rather than off of previous knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Good conversations.
Yeah,
Did you finish your pumpkin spice?
I have finished my pumpkin spice. It is all gone.
I wish finished mine earlier, like I said, and I thought it was evil.
Well, it's okay to be wrong.
I think that the pumpkin spice demons are now in my gut trying to possess me.
I need to get you some better pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll head out. We'll head out to the local coffee house.
I'm glad that you're holding out hope for me in this particular area.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. We did the Genies, we did the pumpkin spice, we did the metagaming.
That's all she wrote, folks.
Yeah. Well, how do we do this preview for next episode? Is that it?
We can give, sometimes we give them a little taste test, a little teaser.
We got another monster that we can tease for you. What are we talking about next week, Jack?
Next week, well, we ended, the last creature we went over this week was the Marid, which is the water themed genie. Next week we will be going over another water themed creature,
another elemental type. Ooh.
Yes, I know. Ooh. It is, drum roll please. That was an okay drum roll.
That was kind of like more like a beating than it was a drumming.
You know, that reminded me of the seal that slaps its side.
Yeah. Would this thing that we're talking about be friends with the seal, though?
It could, because the next thing that we're talking about next week is a water weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh my god, it's begun already.
Yeah, I'm going to make a lot of those jokes next episode.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
yeah.
I'll be looking forward to it. Whenever we record this next episode, ladies and gentlemen, we will have that ready for you next week.
Oh, yeah. And before we go, we have socials. Do we want to plug those?
Oh, yes, we can indeed.
We have socials. We're not just on YouTube.
Yeah, you can go ahead and find us on Twitter. If you go to @CommonerPodcast, you can find us there. We post a little bit about when we're uploading new episodes. We'll have some more info on there, possibly some polls for when we get things going, and we need some ideas about monsters you want us to talk about, or topics you want to hear us discuss back and forth. We'll have that up there. That's really the big one that we have out other than YouTube. Yeah, we're working on some other things.
Yeah, we have plenty of stuff going on and building up because we gotta get there.
We gotta get ideas first, and then we can put it out there.
Yeah.
So when we have those ready, we will let you know, and you can check us out all over the place. Eventually, it'll all be listed through Twitter, assuming that Twitter survives the apocalypse that has been Elon Musk. So he's speedrunning bankruptcy, guys. It's interesting to see it go.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, go ahead, drop us a like, drop us a comment, and subscribe and hit that bell notification.
We're begging now. We're begging.
Well, not begging. It's just it costs you nothing.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys. Love
you all. It is much appreciated. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay caffeinated.
See you when you see you.
Bye-bye.